Atolls do not have a natural source of fresh water. They're not big enough and they don't have it. So atolls have to have a distillation plant or some source of fresh water to use. And Jasper Holmes knew this very well because he had been a member of this study group. So he told Commander Rochefort at this point that he had been thinking about this, and he knew water was a very vital commodity on Midway Island, and that if we could bring to the Japanese attention the fact that the water supply had been interrupted by a casualty in the distillation system, that it would be something that would attract their attention. And he had even thought out how to transmit this message and how to handle it and so forth. Rochefort was very impressed with this account by Holmes, and he said, "Very good, Jasper, very good," which was high praise from Commander Rochefort. And then he turned and went to his secure telephone and called Layton back. Layton went to Nimitz. Nimitz approved this deception activity that we were about to undertake, and we sent that message that afternoon and waited for the results. This message told the commanding officer of Midway Island to send a message in the clear, unenciphered, not coded, to send a message in the clear that he had suffered a casualty to his evaporators and he only had a water supply good for 2 weeks, and that he would need to be resupplied with water. Sent that to the Commandant of 14th Naval District. The Commandant of the district then told him that he would send 2 water tankers up to Midway to resupply him. Following day, we intercepted a message from, and other people did too. Melbourne intercepted the same message. Message that from Wake Island, where a Japanese intercept operator had seen this plain text message from Midway and had notified Tokyo that AF had suffered a casualty to its water supply and would need to be resupplied with fresh water. That confirmed to the world that AF was Midway. We got that message early that morning and translated it, and Commander Rochefort said, "Let's sit on this a few minutes, because somebody else may also get this message, and we don't want to be the first ones to advertise it because it might be too self-serving. I told you so, you know." So within an hour, Melbourne, Australia had the same message and did put it on the network, which informed Washington as well as us and what we already knew. And that settled the fact that AF was the target, and there was no more argument about what the target was for the Kido Butai. And this was now on about the 18th of May, and so Admiral Nimitz was able to set his orders into concrete, and the procedure went ahead. This account is best described in Elliot Carlson's new book called Phil Rochefort's War. Now, I'm sure I know some of you in this audience have read that book, but I was absolutely flabbergasted yesterday when I went to the Navy Exchange here to make sure that they had Joe Rochefort's War in stock, because I wanted to mention it today. They don't have it. They've never had it. It is not on the Navy Exchange book sponsorship list for some strange reason. It's published by the Naval Institute Press, and it was published in October, and it's got wide distribution, but not to the U.S. Navy Exchange. If any of you would like to have the book and have not gotten it, you can order it from Amazon because it's available. But if you wait a week or so, I believe the Navy Exchange here in Hawaii is going to stop it. I spent time yesterday talking to the manager of the Navy Exchange, and she made several phone calls, and I think that will be the result. Okay, I've talked too long. The last thing I want to mention is the issue of Midway being the turning point of World War II in the Pacific, and, as Admiral Rogers said, possibly with worldwide impact, which is absolutely true. That theory was put forward a few years ago by Dr. Schlesinger, and it's made a big impact around the world. Now, that fact of Midway being the turning point is now being challenged. Marines, and I'm sure there's some Marines in the audience, and God bless them, the Marines are lifesavers in the Navy. The Marines didn't have too much to do with the Battle of Midway. They were the garrison on Midway Island, and they did defend Midway. They had some airplanes there, but they were antique airplanes that the Navy had cast off, and they weren't very effective against the Japanese fleet. But the Marines did participate in the Battle of Midway. But the big Marine effort came in Guadalcanal just a couple months later, when they invaded Guadalcanal and eventually captured it from the Japanese. Some of the Marines are now saying that the capture of Guadalcanal was in fact the turning point in the war. That was when we were able to go on the offensive and do our island hopping campaign, and it was because the Marines had successfully captured Guadalcanal. Jump ahead a minute to a new book that won't come out for a few months yet, but it's by John Trados, who wrote Combined Fleet Decoded, which may be familiar to many of you. He's now come out with a book that claims that he hasn't come out with it yet. I've read the manuscript, and that's how I found out about it. They wanted me to support the book and make a statement that would be good for advertising and marketing the book, and I have declined to do that because he said that the whole Solomons campaign, following Guadalcanal up through the Solomons into Bougainville and Rabaul and New Britain, was the real turning point of the war. Well, this is nonsense, and I can't support it at all. None of those operations from Guadalcanal on through the Solomons would have been possible at all if it hadn't been for the victory at Midway. There's no way, if we had not destroyed those 4 Japanese carriers, that we would have been able to invade Midway, or invade Guadalcanal two months later and carry on through the Solomons campaign. And only one turning point in the war, and that was clearly Midway, and anybody that thinks that Guadalcanal or the Solomons campaign represents the turning point is dead wrong. And that's my message to you all. And that's really the end of my comments, sir. I'm delighted to be here. Every time I come to Hawaii, I wonder why I ever left. It is wonderful to be back, and I hope I can come again, but I don't know when that will be. Thank you.
Please be seated. We're just finished up here. It's a rare opportunity to be able to hear Admiral Showers talk about his experiences twice in a career, and I've been here twice to do that. And he not only gave 70 years ago and throughout 5 years on the Pac Fleet staff, going forward to Guam in January '45. With Admiral Nimitz, but he served as Admiral Rogers mentioned, a long career in the Navy, a career with the Central Intelligence. He also had another career where he served helping people with cancer and Alzheimer's, not cancer, Alzheimer's. And so Admiral Showers is always giving. He's given us, I think, a very rich rendition of what happened and with some lessons and challenges for the future. I don't have much to give you back, Admiral, but I did want to give you 2 coins from Pac Fleet N2, N39. The first coin's got a picture of the Arizona Memorial and our Information Dominance Corps pin in the Hawaiian Islands, and it says, "Never forget." And it's got on the front the Pac Fleet logo. And the other coin is something that I won't show everybody, but we talk a lot about keeping the main thing out here in the Pacific. And there's a flag of a certain nation and their naval ensign that's the main thing. And I want to make sure you know we're watching the main thing. And it's because of what you did 70 years ago that we're looking forward, and we're never going to be caught again like we were. And we hope that we can be as successful as you to be able to have foreknowledge of the enemy's actions so that we're never in a position to have our national security in jeopardy. So that's because of you. So these are for you, sir.
The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
Thank you, Admiral Showers, for that remarkable insight.